Well, I'm out of hospital for the second time, and I'm putting together a video about my ordeal basically. It probably started, I want to say about 4 to 6 weeks ago. I started feeling a little run down with my training, just not feeling the way I thought I should, talking to my coach Frank about it and just trying to figure out why I just didn't have the energy, the zip, the why some rides would make me feel down and why other I just didn't feel right. Let's put it that way. I knew something was up, but I didn't know what. Well, it turns out I've actually been battling an infection, and that infection is from a saddle sore. So I want to tell everybody, if you're at all squeamish, there are some pretty graphic photos that you're going to see in here. So don't watch it if you at all squeamish. I mean it's bad, especially what it became. As you can imagine, it's on my ass, right on my sit bone, from being on the saddle, and it was sore. It was all. I mean, I just figured it's sore. I'm riding, I'm on it all the time, I'm doing a lot of miles, I'm logging about 15 hours a week. It's all coach supervised. We're tackling this the right way. We're looking at nutrition, we're looking at sleep, we're looking at everything, and there's no answers. And one day I noticed that it was particularly sore, and I'd been asking my girlfriend to look at it few times, and can you see anything there? We'd found a couple of ingrown hairs, like little pimples. We took care of them, band-aids, cream, antiseptic cream, or a triple antibiotic cream, generally just taking care of it and trying to make sure that everything's right and that I'm doing the right thing. And this is a cautionary tale. I mean, this is this is how quickly it can go wrong. And as you'll see in some of the little snippets I made from hospital, I didn't even crash the bike. I mean, I've won 2 races. My training's been going great. For the most part, I've felt on top of the world, and something like this happens and I end up in hospital not once, but twice. The first time the lump got quite big, and dumbass here, and here's the cautionary tale, puts 2 chamois on. I'm not satisfied with not being able to ride because it hurts. I'm going to dig deep. I'm going to push through the pain, I mean, there are times when you should, but there's pain that you shouldn't push through. And this was one of those occasions. And like I said, dumbass here decides that I'm going to push through. So I get out on the bike, and I'm out there it calls for 3 hours and 45 minutes. And I head out to my turnaround point, which is the only reason I didn't turn around sooner and come back, because by the time I got to the turnaround point, I'd done one of my efforts and I wasn't feeling right. I mean, the wattage that I was pushing out was hard, but I can do it. I know I can do it. I wasn't feeling it. There was something where I thought, I'm not. So the next effort comes up, and I do that effort, and I'm thinking, I'm not going to make this effort. I'm not going to be able to finish this effort. I can't do it. And I couldn't finish that effort. So I got to my turnaround. There was a large chunk of the next part of the ride that was like a recovery phase. And it was calling for anywhere from 145 to 175 watts. And I found myself tooling along at 155 and not happy. And I'm thinking, what? This is not right. So by this time I'm turning and burning home. I mean, I had to anyway because I'd gone past my turnaround, and I'm hurting. I mean, I am really hurting. The 2 chamois are not working. I've got a golf ball sized lump on my sit bone, and it feels like it's just getting worse and worse, which of course it was. And I get home and I feel cold. I've just worked out. It wasn't a particularly warm day, but I've just worked out, and I get in the shower and you know, I'm a little shivery, and the shower warms me up, and I get out of the shower and I'm literally like, I'm cold, I'm cold. I get dried off as fast as I can. I jump into bed. This is a Saturday, and I jump into bed and I pull the covers up. I've got the cover up over my hood, just enough to breathe. Mind you, it's 80 degrees outside. It's probably 75 in the house, and I'm shivering, and I'm like, I know I'm not good, but I'm home on my own. I'm thinking, I'll be all right. I come good. I get warm, but I still feel like I am exhausted. I know something's not right because I got this lump. My girlfriend gets home about 6 o'clock that night, and I tell her about it. And she's like, "Let's go to the hospital." I'm like, "No, let's leave it till Monday. It could get better. It could go down." Well, I woke up Sunday morning and I was not good. I mean, I wasn't just not good at all, and I knew it. I was tired. I was really cold, and I mean, I had fever. So we go to the hospital, and they're really concerned. They want to put me on antibiotics and stuff, but they're also looking at the wound, and they're thinking, well, there's two ways we can go about this, and we can excise the wound, and so they cut a nick in it, and we can clean all the gunk out, and we can pack it and leave it open so that it gradually closes from the inside out, and you're minimally invasive, and you could be back on the bike in 2 weeks to a month. And of course, you know me, I'm like, yeah, let's do that. That's a great option. And I'll probably splice the video here so that we go through that section. And again, if you're squeamish, don't really go much past here, because this first one's not as bad as the second one. Looks like a shark bite. I mean, I'm not kidding you. It yeah, anyway, but so they do this, and they discharge me that day from hospital. They give me some pain meds, but I don't really feel like I'm in that much pain, so I don't really take them. But I'm still not feeling good. They didn't give me any antibiotic. Well, actually, they did. They gave me oral antibiotic, which, I did the whole course. 2 weeks goes by. This lump the redness is gone. The infection seems to have gone. And I had a brief period there for, actually it was more like 10 days before I went back to the hospital. But I had a brief period there where I came up, I started feeling good again. I thought, I might be able to ride. Of course, I tried sitting on the bike. Nope, not happening. The lump's still there. It's just the big puffy red swelling has gone, but this golf ball sized lump, kind of like shaped like that, actually more like a teardrop, was still there. And it's right on my sit bone, and it's starting to angle in towards my anus and the landing carriage. It's not in a good spot. I can tell there's still something wrong, because I am got zero energy. I don't even want to get out of bed. I'm getting up, I'm going to work, I'm performing my tasks, but everything is a hassle. My head's pounding. I'm like this. I don't feel right. But I keep telling myself, "Be all right." And not having insurance, that's a big factor about just, let's go to the hospital. Yeah, and another $15,000 later, which I don't know what my bill's going to be yet, which is really worrying me. 1 day in a hospital, and then the next time it's 3 days in hospital. At this point, I'm probably going to have to sell the house and then some toys to pay that bill. Europe is getting further and further away, but no, it's 2027. It's happening. But this is all part of it. This is all part of it. This is what happens. This is cycling. This is what we face on a day-to-day basis, and it's going to happen. But anyway, I go back to hospital, and they're like freaking out. They're like, we've got to operate. We got We don't even know if we can do this here. They're calling other hospitals, Birmingham, Dothan. I'm back at the hospital again, and the news isn't good. We're looking for a hospital that I can be transferred through to, that can take care of this wound. It's got to be done properly and got to be taken care of and drained, and they need plastics and all kinds of stuff. It's close to the bone down there, the seat bone and the scrotum and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty serious. I've got to get this taken care of. So it's going to be a bit of a trip. We're probably looking at a transfer from hospital to hospital at the moment, but didn't even crash the bike and ended up in hospital. They speak to like 3 other people, experts on this, and they're like, no, that's not how we would do it. We're not going to nick it open, insert a tube, drain this stuff. We're not going to do it that way. We're going to cut this thing out if we're going to do it. So of course they can do that at Troy. They don't have the non-invasive way to do it at Troy. Because it's linked to radiology, believe it or not. They take all these scans and insert the tube where they need to insert it and make sure that they've got the pocket and that they drain it. Or they're like, no, we're going to cut this out and put you in ICU. You are in a bad way. You're not going anywhere. This is so. They operate that afternoon, and they literally take a great white sized bite out of my ass and pack it and put a cover over it, and here I am at home 4 days later, feeling at least half decent enough to make a video for you guys so that I can catch up, because I think it's been about a month. I was supposed to do a mountain bike race actually the day that I went to hospital, the day after I went to hospital, something like that anyway, the first time. It's looking like it's going to be about 3 months off the bike now, and you'll see, like, with these pictures. And like I said, if you're at all squeamish, I know I've probably got you slavering at the jaws now to see these wounds, but this wound, but if you're at all squeamish, seriously, don't look. It's not pretty. And neither's my ass. But I'll keep the rest of the junk out of the pictures for you. But it's anatomy. We've all got one or the other. So, I'm not shy about it. It is what it is. But the road to recovery begins, and this is just a new phase of where I'm at. This is a new phase of what I've got to do to prepare for 2027 Hort route, which is my primary focus. And of course, my secondary is to get monetized and help good causes. And, I think one of them might be to help cyclists get better educated about taking better care of themselves. I wasn't overtrained. I know that. This was just, it turned out, by the way, that it was a staph infection, and they isolated which one it was. And that's why I had to spend 3 days in hospital. They had to culture it to figure out what it was so they can target it with specific antibiotics. I'm on Cipro, I think is what they call it. Got to take that twice a day. They've given me pain meds, but I don't feel the need to use them all the time. Although sitting, try this on for size. Sitting is really hard. I bought a donut and it does help. But man, when you can't sit, you stand, you get tired, you try to sit, you lay. I'm going to leave those thoughts with you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for catching up with me. And wish me luck. Wish me luck. I'm on the road to recovery, and I'm still doing it. I'm going to get there. You watch. I'm going to get there.